Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Spotlight. I'm Teresa Strongmeyer with Action Coach Tampa Bay, and today I have another wonderful business owner and founder of something very unique that I'm happy to bring to you today. So go ahead and I don't want to mess up the pronunciation of your name, so go ahead and introduce yourself and the name of your company.
Yeah, hey everyone, glad to be here, and thank you, Teresa, for setting this up. My name is Shivam Ramphal. I'm one of the co-founders of Maya AI. And what Maya is really quickly is a personalized AI system that's able to collect, score, and format data depending on the requirements administered by higher-ended stakeholders or KOLs. So that's just a quick little elevator pitch, if you want to call it that, but
Don't
yeah,
worry, we'll get deeper.
for sure.
So tell me what led to this. What need did you see that you wanted to fulfill with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So the company was started by three brothers, actually. I'm the
Aw.
youngest brother out of all three of us. And my background is actually doing data management and prosthetic development at Shriners Kids Hospital. So,
Oh.
and yeah, I know. Most of our focus right now is in the life science arena due to certain factors that I was able to witness being in the field. So besides my AI, previous to that, I was working with my two other brothers in vertical with, doing school and, doing side projects with them as well, where we were working together on different technology companies, data-led companies, retail companies, etc. So my brothers and I had a pretty good experience working together. Not from a brother standpoint, but a business partner
For
standpoint, right?
business purposes
Gotta
only.
separate the two. And then after realizing certain markets, certain trends uprising, we started Maya 2021. So before ChatGPT came out with the whole AI trend and market demand and all that great stuff, we actually
Right.
started prior to that from our data-led company emerging into the AI space, like I mentioned in 2021. So some of the, I guess, areas that we're in right now within life sciences, mostly in healthcare or pharmaceuticals, and what kind of leverage that or why we kind of picked that area is, well, two reasons. One, these customers kind of came to us gravitating to some of the capabilities we were able to build out. But also in some of the experience that I faced in healthcare, data is very, very vital, but it's scattered, it's messy, it's unorganized, all
Yes.
these different
Mm-hmm.
things where one, I kind of saw how the different HCPs is looking at data and then
Mm-hmm.
correlating at depending on a specific patient. That process, there's a lot of things that is, I wouldn't say wrong, but I would say there's a gap in those processes in
Right.
between, treatments to patient delivery. And that's kind of like where we kind of leverage in that focus area, if that makes sense, to
Mm-hmm.
one, make it faster with the nature of AI, but two, to actually build treatment accuracy from specific patients to specific type of treatments, right? So that's kind
Oh,
of,
that's amazing.
I'll leave it at that, and then we can dive more if need be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing. That because when I spoke to you before, that did not come out. So I love that. Because one of the things I like to do is just make it practical for people so they know exactly how they would use your services.
Right.
So that's one example. Can you give another example of why would I come to you and for what?
Yeah, so wonderful question. Essentially, what our system is able to do is look at big data, whether that's internal, external, unstructured, structured, and that's just on the technical side of things. Where Maya, she's able to look at all of this data at a synchronized level and at the same time, all in real time, and being able to pull in certain information, score that, and format that information depending on, for example, Teresa, whatever you want that research to be. That
Mhm.
to be is where Maya gets to format that information to your specific deliverables. For example, in healthcare, one of the things that they're doing in, one of our customers in Singapore is looking at different calculators, scorings, these type of things. That's just one aspect. The second aspect is looking at multiple different data types at the same time, images, audio, graphs, some EHR level data from specific type of patients, and combine all of those, synchronously. And then based on that, Teresa, let's just say you as an HCP, hey Maya, can you look at Jonathan, lung cancer, epitope, sequence B, just making something up here, and then coordinate and score different treatments that can pertain to that, where Maya is able to look at that, make certain connections, build out a scoring system, provide the proof of work of what's being done from the system, and then to deliver that based on your specific directive and requirement that you may have as a doctor, oncologist, researcher, so on and so forth.
That sounds almost unbelievable.
But well, that's what we're working on. You know, especially in healthcare, because two reasons. With more patient data, just data generating a lot more, it's getting harder for some of these HCPs to, you know, maneuver around it, look at it synchronously, and deliver that appropriately. We've seen a lot of these, and not trying to throw any shade or anything bad with the other innovations happening, they're quite linear, where there's not really a connections between system to user. There is system to user, and that's like a basis of that. But with Maya, what we're attempting to do is bridge the gap on how data interacts with each other. If there's any connections, score that obviously for accuracy and relevancy for the patients, but also delivering that in a format where one, the HCP can understand it and essentially what that data is for and what it's doing, essentially.
Okay. So next layer of that is, what problems does this potentially prevent?
Yeah, so from the technical side, what we're trying to solve is a lot of bias, hallucinations, these type of things happening in the different data silos, because whoever inputted that, it's a linear approach to being inputted, where the output, there's a little bit of a semantics needed for it to render out depending on the specific orientation, right? So that's some of the two technical problems that we're solving with healthcare security compliance. That's a big thing, because some of these larger healthcare, they love their data. They don't want that to get leaked. And especially with HIPAA, SOC 2, it's all required there. But I would say one of the major challenges that we're solving from a forefront level is faster treatments to these patients and being able to save lives a lot more quicker with, one, the justification of evidence provided to do that. And then two, there's a relevancy in mass data to one specific patient rather than it being generalized. We don't need generalized. We need very specific things, right? Just because, Teresa, you may go into the doctor, you say, hey, doctor, I have a headache. I may go and I have a headache, but two different types of headaches that need specific type of diagnostics and treatments, you know, or directed towards that. And I think with our system, we're able to provide more efficient and productive ways of helping the doctors, researchers do that. But also, more importantly, in any sort of research standpoint, provide the justification and the sources to back up those claims, right?
Right. And I just want to be clear on this. So this is not taking the place of the doctor or the researchers.
Not at all. No,
this is an
no.
assist.
Yeah,
this 100%. Is an assist
yeah,
of bringing all those informations together. Because I think many of us have either been in the situation or seen the situation to happen with someone they know or love, that all the information is not gathered in a timely fashion, or it's missing some element, or they didn't take into account, you know, one ailment or one medication, or there's always, not always, but there's quite often something that's missed. So I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, just from a psychological level, something what we have been assessing is a state of mind of doctors when doing these things, and that's very, very. It's an environment, right? Where some of these doctors, you know, when they're interacting with patients, they're so involved with the patients where, you know, how does this pertain to you? That's their state of mind. And then when they go in the back room trying to assess everything, they're trying to figure out, well, is this relevant? Is this not relevant? How it isn't, how it is, you know, so on and so forth. And the state of mind switches where there's a lot more collection rather than relevancy. And I think an AI system, not saying Maya, but a solution that's able to power that, where they're able to look at that in real time, make the connections, and like I mentioned before, build a justification, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It'll help them understand in real time, well, if this is something we need to act upon now, or this is something that we can approach at a more strategic way. Because even what I've seen in the healthcare environment, and there's a lot of cases on this. There's a lot of people who get misdiagnosed, you know, doing the wrong treatments. They don't need this. They don't need that.
Exactly.
To identify that based on hardcore evidence, it'll bring everything at a much more faster rate. Profitability goes up in all different factors, right? And the treatment is much more accurate and faster.
I love this. This is amazing. So tell me, what stage of development are you in? Because I know this is a startup. This is a brainchild of you and your brothers. So tell me,
Right.
what stage are you in?
Yeah, so currently we're in our pre-seed raise right now. And we're in the MVP testing phase as well, where we're working with a couple of healthcare centers in Singapore, United States, and one or two in Europe. So in those initial phases, we're doing a lot of testings, we're doing a lot of piloting, verifications on the environment. Two, Myers accuracy and outputs, and then three, from our stage, it's growth mode, I would say, trying to really
Goodness.
leverage some of the capabilities we do have, build out a much more better ROI so we can understand value, right? And testing out Maya in these verticals as well.
Okay, wonderful. So what is the future of Maya? What we're going, tell me where we're going with this.
Yeah, so me being in healthcare with a background, working with the kids and stuff like that, one of the things that I've always thinking about working at Shriners is why the kids at such a young age, it sucks for them, right? Where they have these conditions, they have these sort of diagnostics where it's not too beneficial for them trying to live life. So being in healthcare with all of the stuff that's going on from the regulatory side, from the operational side, it's a big headache. And for doctors, it's even a bigger headache, right? So for Maya, one of the features I see with our product in healthcare and other verticals as well is to bridge the gap on research and directive, essentially, just because in healthcare, working with the kids once again, I want to see people get the treatment they need and deserve in order for them to live life, essentially, because that's why we're here at the end of the day.
Right,
There's
right.
still the unanswered question, why am I here? Da 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 da, living life,
Yeah.
so forth. So with some of the complications I've seen in healthcare around operations, regulatory, so on and so forth, I would love to have Maya bridge the gap in bringing all of these things to the doctors, the researchers faster, so they're able to help the patients faster in the hospital settings. Because that's why the patient is there, right? Is to get cured,
Mm,
get out, live
right,
life, and
right,
at the generalized level, right? But
right.
yeah,
Yeah, I love this because although it sounds very technical and very complicated, the idea of it is to simplify, right? Is to
absolutely.
simplify the whole
Yeah, yeah,
process.
100%,
You're
100%.
right. So
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So I appreciate your time with us today. One last question. What keeps you motivated as a business owner, especially starting something brand new and putting it out there?
Yeah, I love the team. I love what we're doing. I love the field that we're in. I love the challenge that we're up against because one, true innovation, two, it gets your mind thinking, right? So for me, it's like, okay, well, how can I get this in the hands of other doctors, other places for them to start saving lives, and
Yeah.
being able to help out people in
Hmm.
in the relations that they deserve to get help, and making sure everybody's holistic, everybody's good. So I guess that's my perspective of me trying to, me not going to
Hmm.
sleep, and then my other brothers, they have their own stuff
Right.
that keeps them awake. But I guess
Of
collectively
course.
we're on the mission to um help people out, essentially in some fashion out of 10,000 feet level, right? Is to help bridge data evidence into verification and help out researchers and doctors, I would say.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. Here's another wonderful person. If someone wanted to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Yeah, so you can just go on the website, meetmaya.ai, not maya.ai, meetmaya.ai. Or you can find us on social media, or I can provide my email as well. And that's a way to get in contact for sure.
All right, wonderful. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.
Take care, guys.